The Cook Islands are a group of 15 small islands scattered over 2 million square kilometers of the Te Moananui o Kiva, located in the center of the Polynesian Triangle. Our 15 islands are divided geographically into the northern and southern group, made up of a mix of volcanic islands and low-lying sand cays and coral atolls. Approximately 70% of the resident population live on the largest island of Rarotonga, the capital of the Cook Islands, with the remaining 30% scattered throughout the rest of the islands. In 1965, the Cook Islands adopted a constitution, choosing to be self-governing in free association with New Zealand. We are responsible for our own government, laws, and domestic and foreign affairs. Our Cook Islands economy has shifted from the subsistence society we once knew. Our agriculture-based economy has changed dramatically to one driven by tourism and services. Our offshore financial services remains active and expanding, while our fisheries sector continues to increase its tuna catch both for domestic and export consumption. As the Cook Islands economy has done so well over the past 5 to 10 years, we are now going through a process called Official Development Assistance Graduation, meaning our country's status as a developing economy will graduate to a developed economic status. While we are proud of this achievement, we are concerned that it does not reflect the reality on the ground nor our vulnerabilities as a small island state. A single extreme event, such as a very intense cyclone, will cripple our infrastructure and revenue-generating systems and set back our hard-earned development. This means we need to ensure we build economic resilience into our financial and income generation systems. We need to build resilience in our social support structures. We need to build resilience in how we utilize our environment. The Cook Islands is highly vulnerable to climate change impacts. In particular, we have experienced severe rainfall intensity, leading to negative impacts on our drainage systems, both natural and man-made, and damages to our infrastructure. Prolonged dry periods have affected water security and agricultural production. Erosion of our coastlines and inundation from sea level rise remains at the forefront, and degradation of our reefs from extensive coral bleaching from elevated sea temperatures is an issue we are facing. Tropical cyclones are the most extreme events that occur in the Cook Islands, and in the last 30 years have increased in intensity. In 2004 and 2005, we experienced 6 tropical cyclones throughout the country, with the other cyclones in years before that, affecting our natural and built environments, our health, our life, our economy. The climate projections suggest that the intensity of cyclones will continue to increase into the future. As part of the international community, the Cook Islands has taken up the obligation to mitigate against climate change by reducing our fossil fuel emissions from diesel energy generation to 100% coverage of renewable energy by 2020.
Renewable energy is a moral obligation and a moral solution, and it's also a responsible solution for us. We're moving towards 100% deployment of renewable energy. We've come a long way. We've seen the benefits. We've seen our people's reaction to those benefits, and we are going all the way, flat out.
With the completion of solar energy generation across our Northern Group Islands, Installation of solar energy systems have also been completed on all but one of the larger islands in the southern group. Aitutaki will commence transformation to solar energy in the coming years. Currently, 16% of electricity on Rarotonga is generated from renewable energy sources. The reality is that we have insignificant greenhouse gas emissions globally, but have already committed ourselves to reductions in most emission-intense sectors such as energy and transport as a start. We are doing our part. Going forward, we require significant action on adaptation to strengthen the ability of us, our communities, and our environment to cope with the impacts of climate change.
We just spoke about climate change, and what we're seeing, this is the dry season in our country normally, but it is unseasonally wet. So we have to look at existing drainage that we had, which suited the weather that we had back then. The weather now demands that we have much larger drainage. So it's going to be an ongoing process that we have, that a lot of the places where flooding is occurring, the drainage outlets or the culverts that are being used are too small or too narrow. They're easily blocked up. So we have to look at putting in place bigger culverts. This is big infrastructure work, and this is where we're looking at agencies like the Green Climate Fund to be able to help us build resilience and take into account the impacts of the effects of climate change against countries like us. And we'll see more and more of this as we move into the future. Over the next 10, 20, 30 years, the scientists are predicting much more extreme weather patterns. So we have to adjust our country's infrastructure to be able to accommodate what we expect to be much more extremes.
Work is needed to build resilience of our islands and communities to the impacts of climate change and natural disasters by improving our infrastructure to withstand both slow onset and catastrophic climate events. Internationally, the world's scientists have already signaled in their global reports the consequences of inaction by large emitters, but also by us all. Our land and our marine resources remain cornerstones of our economy. Due to the uncertain future of our oceans as a result of human actions, in 2017 we declared our biggest resource, all 2 million square kilometers of our exclusive economic zone, a marine park.
The Cook Islands Marine Park was a concept that I came up with about 2.5, 3 years ago. We have 2 million square kilometres of ocean that we own. We've proposed to the government that we protect half of that.
Kevin was the driving force. He convinced me that it was the right direction to move in. As Pacific Islanders, it is incumbent on us to show the world that we care about the Pacific Ocean.
The effect of ocean acidification and rising sea levels, combined with the increasing deep water ocean temperatures, outline the need for us to ensure an integrated management approach by all ocean users. Our marine park ensures the need to manage our marine resources and safeguard and conserve them for future generations to come. As a signatory to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change and its Paris Agreement, the Cook Islands is committed to addressing climate change. However, challenges remain, such as the need for technical and financial assistance and support from our development partners, UN agencies, regional organizations, and development banks. The priorities have been identified by our communities and government. Now it is coming down to who wishes to work with us in our pursuit of economic prosperity while we address the challenges of climate change.
The roundtable meeting we are holding today is not the end, but the start of us as a country stepping towards that prosperity we seek, ensuring the impacts from climate change are addressed as best as we can with your support and your help.
Your support can help us make a difference.
With your support, you can give us a brighter future.